Guys, thank you for joining us here today for another episode of Locals Only. We are here at Guajillo's, the shortcut to Mexico on Blanco and 410. We're inside speaking with Carlos Barajas. They've set up an amazing spread for us. It's going to be a great time. I'd like to welcome everybody to another episode of Locals Only. Today we have joined with Carlos, the Guajillo's guy here at Guajillo's on Blanco and 410. How you doing today, Carlos?
Very good, very good. Thank you for coming and seeing us today.
No problem, no problem. It's one of my favorite restaurants. I've been coming here for in excess of 10 years. And
we know this,
yes. Well, Carlos, I wanted to ask you a couple questions. Basically, I wanted to figure out the beginnings of Guajillo's. I always like to do a little dive into where you guys came from. The menu is so interesting here. If you could please explain kind of like how everything started. And
yeah, so my father was in the U.S. Army, and he was about to retire in 2000. So he was contemplating what he's going to do. And at that same time, my uncle was the executive chef of Spago in Mexico City, which is owned by Wolfgang Puck. Yeah, he opened that restaurant with Wolfgang.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, that's pretty incredible.
Well, 20 years ago, our menu didn't exist in San Antonio. You couldn't find pastor, you couldn't find chile pasilla, you couldn't find birria, pozole. You couldn't. Everyone went to the border. That's what everyone did.
So everyone was going to the borders to get the authentic.
Yeah. You go to the border. For the weekend. For lunch. You come back. It's only 2 hours away. One day my father tells the family, "Hey, I got a little hole in the wall. It's this shopping center where Luna Bar is. Well, in that same shopping center, we opened our restaurant, but the name wasn't Guajillo's. It was Taco Inn.
Taco Inn.
Yeah. Okay. So my father and I went in there, ripped up the carpet, ripped up the tile, ripped up more tile. We built the kitchen. Really? We built everything in there. It was just an office space.
Yeah, because I was wondering how you got the kitchen in there. That's
we put the kitchen in the corner. Then my uncle came just to visit us to see what was going on, and he's like, "Oh, we're really doing this?" So my uncle's like, "Well, let's do it." So he moved here, and we got everything going. We opened in July of '99. I was my senior Taco Inn, and it was my senior year of high school. My father had 6 months to retire, so I'd go to school in the morning. So I just worked the restaurant in the afternoons. My sister worked the restaurant in the afternoons. My mother worked the restaurant. I worked the restaurant. One of my cousins from Mexico came up, worked the restaurant. My friends worked the restaurant, and even to open the restaurant, we had no money. And then to help us with money flow, which we kind of cried a little bit, my father and I, because during the Army, we were sent, during my time in middle school, we were stationed in Cairo, Egypt. So I lived in Cairo for 3 years. And we purchased war-issue BSAs, motorcycles.
Really?
Yeah, a 1941, I believe, and a 39. Even the engine had stamped World War II.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we brought these back, and we sold them so we could have money for the operations.
That's awesome.
So that was a sad moment for us because we love motorcycles. The whole family had motorcycles. We ride everywhere.
That's crazy. That's it speaks to the sacrifice you have to make a business succeed, though.
Oh, there will be days when we first opened, we were sleeping in the booth all day because no one would walk in. And then a miracle happened, and the Express News did an article on us.
Okay.
And that weekend was crazy.
It opened up, and the floodgates started.
Yep.
I know that when I was looking online, one of the greatest compliments you guys get is on your salsa.
Oh,
so I got to know, was that a beginning? Was that the same salsa you were serving then, or kind of where did that come from?
We used to have 3 salsas.
Okay.
And one day a customer of ours asked my uncle, "Hey, can you make something spicier?" And he's like, "Yeah, I guess so." So I went in the kitchen, came out, and that's the salsa we have now.
He just put it all together?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
One of the things that we've noticed going into obviously 2020 is that there has to have changes that have come. We all have masks now. We've been social distancing, and I know that it's definitely. Have you noticed a big effect on your restaurant aside from those times when you had to shut down and we had?
Yeah, the beginning of the lockdown happened on the weekend of my birthday, so it kind of hurts me right now. But I'll never forget that. But yeah, it was hard for us. I mean. But you have to adapt and overcome it. You know, that's the main thing. Now when we closed the beginning and just did to-goes, that hurt us a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Because I went from 25 employees to 4. People have to be aware now too that times have changed. So when you go to a restaurant, normally on a Saturday, you know, when you eat at between 7 and 8, you're gonna have to wait now.
But you know what's crazy is I've noticed, even though like a lot of smaller businesses are struggling, there are a few that are surviving and that are thriving even through this. And I mean, me being in real estate, I've seen some of the best years ever. Right
I don't get that at all.
Well, right now, the reason they're buying houses is because the interest rates are sub 3, which is, I used to do loans years ago and we were at 8 and 10%. Interest rates are at an all-time low. The biggest problem that we're having in the economy right now is that the people haven't been putting their homes up on the market. I think that has been affected to where people think that they don't want people in the home and they're afraid to list. Currently in San Antonio, we have a 2-month inventory, which basically means that we have that much of inventory to sell if it was going to go through the process. And that 6 months is where we have a balanced economy. So currently, if you're out there looking to buy or sell, if you're looking to sell right now, you're not waiting on the market long. You're getting close to asking price. It's a great time to sell.
Well, thinking of selling, I have a condo I might want to sell pretty soon.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
But no, but that's the biggest thing is that we are seeing a good economy going about during this, and it hasn't been hit as hard as you would think. The small businesses, and one of the reasons we are doing this is because I do think it's important that we do spotlight local businesses where most of the effect is going to be seen immediately. Yeah. You get clients in here from any type of source of advertising, like we see you on Instagram all the time. I think you do a great job of promoting yourself.
Oh, thank you.
And if you wanna follow Carlos on Instagram, you follow him at Guajillo's Guy. Well, I'd like to know, because I come here and I have my favorite dishes. If someone was watching this for the first time and they're going to try out Guajillo's, what would be a standout dish that you think that someone for their first time should try here?
Well, that depends on what kind of protein they like. You know, some people are picky, but if I was going to do chicken, the mole verde, for sure.
Mole verde.
Yeah, it's a sauce that's made with roasted pumpkin seeds, lettuce, poblanos, onions. It's all blended. We cook that for about 45 to an hour, let it reduce, and it becomes a mole sauce. It's amazing.
Okay.
Over chicken breasts. That's really good. If you want steak, we have a very thin sliced steak with a chili pasilla sauce. Now, that's kind of adventurous because it's a like or don't like sauce. If you do like it, you'll eat anything in Mexico.
Okay, all
That's
right.
kind of like the thing, you know.
It's like that. It's got
Yeah.
like a.
It's got a bold, like
Flavor
peppery taste. It's not that spicy, but it's amazing, and it will stain your shirt, 1,000%.
1,000% do not get it.
Your shirt's gone.
So that's why I never have eaten it.
So basically, we kind of have a secret menu that I've had specials.
Not no more. We're recording.
I guess so, yeah. But what a lot of customers do is they order the fideo soup. They like the fideo, they love it, right? But they want something spicy. Instead of adding the salsa, we add a little bit of shrimp soup. Because it's so spicy, we add a little spoonful in the kitchen, and it gives it the spice flavor, and it changes the soup, and it's
Really?
amazing. Oh, you
I'm
can't go
gonna
back
try-
to.
I'm gonna try that.
You
I'm
can't
gonna
go. You
try
can't go back to normal fideo.
Well, I want to thank everybody for coming out today. If you haven't tried it out, definitely put it on your to-do list. Come by, say hello to Carlos. He's absolutely a friend. You'll love him. Thank you again for coming out with us today, and it was really a pleasure to speak with you.
You too.
Guys, we want to thank you for joining us today. Carlos for being such a gracious host. If you haven't checked out Guajillo's on Blanco and 410, please stop by, check out the video. They've got the most amazing salsa, in my opinion, in town. And don't forget, we're right here near Castle Hills. If you guys are looking to buy, sell, if you've been looking in this area, please give us a call. We'd be happy to help you out. See you next time.